Hi everyone, this is your friend Meir. This is a beautiful, bright day. I must say, I feel so sad for all the people whose businesses were destroyed by the lockdown. I know that some of you justify it and some of you don't justify it, and it's not my place to tell you if it's right or wrong, but it is so sad to see businesses going downhill, businesses that build themselves up so well, people who did so well in life cannot go back to the life that they had. And for that reason, let's channel our energy into working on ourselves. I found myself walking in the park, singing to the trees, enjoying their presence. And still, one thing that is missing is human touch. And whenever you can, massage someone and have somebody massage you. Touch doesn't always have to be about sex. Touch can be also healing. Touch can be also soothing and helpful. And it is so important that we look at things that way. And we all need that. The important thing for me to tell all of you today is that giving yourself the energy that you need to feel better is very, very important. And giving weak parts of your body the energy that those weak parts need is very important. I just had a nice Zoom session with a wonderful, beautiful woman from England whose one eye is not really working her whole life. And the relief in her face when she started to use her eyes cannot be described. As they say, a picture is better than 1,000 words. An experience is better than 1,000,000 pictures. And her experience was amazing. And I remember working with people with polio when physiotherapy overused the area that was not paralyzed. And I always wanted to use the area which is paralyzed. And I got somewhere between 2% to 65% more movement. You understand why physiotherapists work on their strong side. They wanted them to cut vegetables. They wanted them to drive. They wanted them to be independent. But 10 years later, many of them got a lot of problems from overusing their strong side. They got post-polio, reoccurrence of the polio symptoms. They got heart attacks. They got stroke, CVAs, paralysis. And my patients didn't get it for 40 years later. And that's what happens to all of us. We learned falsely these days, work with what's strong in you. No, work with what's weak in you. Most athletes become very weak in their old age. Work with muscles you never used before. That is very, very important. Work with muscles you never ever used before. Because if you will create balance in your body that will change your life for good. So, what happens if you have cataracts? Who doesn't have cataracts in the 60s and 70s? Well, I was born with it. I had 5 unsuccessful surgeries. I was a Braille reader, the quickest Braille reader in the state of Israel. And boy, those are pretty strong and good Braille readers. But I was able to do it. And now I drive a car. And in fact, I just renewed my driver's license, which is a cause of incredible celebration for me. And I think for the world, seeing that somebody who was basically reading Braille, did not see hardly anything in front of him, can drive a car, that's a big deal. No, my vision is not perfect, and I still needed a note from an optometrist. I still needed to be tested again, which was slightly traumatic for me, and yet I passed it so well. So my friends, everything and anything can happen. So how do we prevent cataracts? We look at a distance. We palm. All of you remember the palming exercise where we rub hands and put the hands around the eye orbits? So, either you have cataract, you had cataract, you know a friend that has cataract, you know other friends of friends that have cataracts. I'm going to give on the 29th of July a Zoom session for free. And you should be in touch with my school and speak with Rosando, who is right now the help that we have, the technical support that we have. And you can write to either office manager or production at self-healing.org, or you can email us and prepare to be a part of the session. Whether you're in New Zealand, whether you're in Texas, whether you're in Israel, or whether you're in China, be a part of this session. It's free, and it will be very informative for half an hour. So I'm going to give a lecture for about 5 to 8 minutes. Please bring a paper, a small piece of paper. You can put it with masking tape over your weaker eye, or if you have the glasses of obstruction, have them. I'm going to guide you through an exercise or two, but then I want to answer your questions. So we'll spend 20 minutes answer people's questions related to cataracts. How do you prevent a cataract from growing? And by the way, you can. How do you deal with an eye that already had surgeries? What do you do to prevent cataract? All of that in that half hour from 12:30 to 1. I'm looking forward to see all of you. And by the way, if your eyesight is weak, time to strengthen it.